Hello, my name is Arthur, and in the last video we did our first header file and moved our clipboard into a separate file and gave it a header file. So in this video we're going to do more of the same. We're going to take all of the search functions and put them into their own file. And then later on we're going to revisit this idea, the idea of having the search tag as part of the structure for a page. And I'm thinking this might not have been the best way to go about it, and that maybe this should actually be the tag table. So I haven't really explored that very far, but I'm just thinking ahead to doing something like maybe starting to do a little bit of syntax highlighting kind of ideas. So what we're going to need is we're going to need to open up our empty. So we have the empty header file, and we'll open up another file to put our functions into. So what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to move the text editors all the way down to the hide search. So the show and hide of the search bar will all go into another file. And that would take all of the search functions and search related functions and put them into a different file. So we don't want to take these are helpers. So we'll come right up to the text editor. We'll cut this out. We'll put it into this file right here. And yeah, I'm having one of those days where seems as though the software wants to lag or whatever it's doing. It's kind of being a little unresponsive today for some reason. I really don't know why it starts doing that, but once in a while it starts doing this. So in order for this to function, we have to put in some includes. So it's pretty much a gimme that we need GTK. So we'll include GTK slash GTK.h. So that one is pretty much a gimme. So another one that I'm thinking it was C-type. And if I'm not mistaken, C-type was only actually ever used in the search function. So like when we save files or when we're closing files, we used string for string compare. But C-type was about checking if things are alphanumeric. So I'm pretty sure that we can cut this one out because we don't want unnecessary includes. And we'll see if that causes a breakage. Then we'll need to include main.h. And in main, we'll have to include what we will call search.h. So we haven't actually addressed that part yet. So we'll call this search H. We'll copy that, put it here, and we'll put it in here, which is only so important. Then from our main H file, we're going to take out all of the functions that we just took out of main. So we'll cut these out of here. We'll declare them in here. And that leaves me with the iters. So we have the iters declared in the H file, so I don't think that these need to be declared here anymore. And let's see, I don't think that this file needs to include the clipboard. I don't think that's necessary. So we don't want unnecessary includes as much as we can avoid it. And I'm thinking that that's it. That if we were to save this, we could call it search. We'll save that. So that's in there. We can call this one search as well. Except this time we'll have the C extension. So search.c. Save that. And we'll just have a look at where that leaves us in here. So that's taken out the bulk of that. And really just left us with the more GUI related stuff. So I don't know exactly how to break down a piece of software in this fashion. This is just a learning process for me, so that leaves me at the thought of this here, the creating a tag here, because I think that this is the wrong way to go about it. That this tag should be more considered as part of the search function. So it should probably be in here. But we'll have to get back to that. So for now, we'll just make sure all these files are saved. And really, this is more about getting things to work with more than one file. So now when we compile, and hopefully this will work out. So now we have main as the output file, main C, clipboard C, and now we'll have to add in search.c because it's going to need to know to process that one too. So let's see what happens. So what we got there was, that's the iters. So that's the question of the iters. So maybe, let's see where the line error is. 52. So let's see, that's in 20. So that's the first instance of start inner. So maybe these shouldn't be declared here. So we'll cut that out of there and put it into here and see if that is what it's looking for. So we'll give that a go and see what happens. So that compiles now, so it wanted the itters needed to be in the C file, not in the H file. So we'll just do a little bit of the usual stuff to see if things still appear to be working. So we'll do a search. The search seems to be working. We can iterate through things. We can iterate through the itters. We can replace one of them. We can replace all of them. Let's see here. Let's cut that out of here and paste it into here. We'll come up here, do some typing to make sure that the search bar is still not grabby. We'll change that back to iter. And yeah, everything seems to be working. So that seems to be the way to go about it. A little bit of learning there for understanding which things belong where. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that the actual text tag for the search probably belongs in this file, and that on our actual on our structure for our page, that this should probably become the tag table. And that way we would just be putting the tags we need into the tag table. That's carried along by the page structure. That way we could be looking at adding in a file, a C file, and an H file for highlighting syntax or something along those lines. So looking at the result of that, this is still pretty bulky, but we're pretty much down to most of the things in the main C file are very directly part of the GUI, like the writing and opening and creating tabs. Whereas things that we're doing with the text, like searching through it and things like that, are now separated into a different file. So that gives an idea, at least. I don't, like I said, I'm not really certain as to what belongs in what file, what's the general rules of thumb or conventions for this belongs in this file and what belongs in which file. I'm not really sure on that, but the first step to being able to do that is being able to do it even if it isn't quite right. So this is kind of where I'm at, and yeah, we'll go back to the disclaimer to remind anybody who's poking into these videos that I'm really quite new to C, and I'm really quite new to GTK with less than 2 months experience on it. So these are experiments and really just having a look at how to get some header files and compile different files together into one application. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll probably be looking at at the issue with the search tag. So we'll be looking at resolving that question, if this should be the tag or the table, and where exactly the search tag should be. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope it's helpful, and until the next video, take care.